All right, welcome back. Um, Last video, I was working on this guy. Uh, I'm just about to finish him off. Just going to paint on the last of the details. Purity seals, the ornament on the back, eyes and helmet are already done. I'm not going to touch them anymore. I'm satisfied the way they are. And after that, I'm going to finish off with both arms, the bolter and the shoulder pads for this guy. And after that, the main course of the whole box, which is the sergeant. I'm not decided yet on how I want to paint him, but probably it's going to be a combination of more white than green. And it's going to be interesting doing the banner and the cloth, loin cloth that this guy has. After that, well, yeah, I have another box of Space Marines that I'm going to be painting on and assembling on my video moving forward. And yeah, I have not yet decided what color scheme I'm going to use for these guys. I am leaning heavily to salamanders, but I'm not entirely sure. Probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to not do exactly salamanders, but a sub-chapter of them, which is the dark krakens. But again, I'm not entirely sure as of right now. Okay, the arms need the base coating, so I'm going to start using the base coat for the arms and the shoulder pads, which is Vallejo's color green, dark green from Game Color. Going to use this one on my wet palette. Wet palettes usually, at least in my experience, maybe I'm using it wrong, which is a high chance of that. They last for me like a couple of days before I have to just throw everything out. Quite probably it's me that I'm not using them correctly. I usually leave links to one of the channels, a guy by the name of Vince Venturella. He has an extensive knowledge. He's honestly a pretty good teacher on this, passionate about miniature painting, and he has a whole video addressing how to use wet palettes. I might need to look into that again. For now, just going to move into applying the base coat for the arms and shoulder pads of the Space Marine. As I said, these guys, I'm going to use them as, they're just going to sit on my shelf, honestly. I'm not going to play with these guys. But I'm painting them in the scheme of the Dark Angels, which is basically a combination of dark green and white. I'm going to start with the shoulder pad over here. I'm going to leave the other part for, I like the borders of the shoulder pad to be red. So there is no need to cover it in green, then to cover it in red again, because they are both dark colors. It will diminish the impact of the green as it is right now anyways, since it has a black coating. I have to place 2 layers of red color on the borders for it to be looking a little bit more reddish. All of these while I am exploring the techniques on how to do that better. And I think one of the points is that I need to apply at least 2 coats of dark red, and then after that apply at least 1 coat of a little red, on a lighter tone of red. I do have that. I usually use one of the reds from AK Interactive Colors. I'll show it in a minute. But in the same box that I have for AK Interactive, there are other reds that I might use. One of them, it is, I think, one shade below of what I'm using for the borders, and I think that should be more than enough. I'll try it again later with this guy once everything is set. On this situation, I think that I'm going to have to apply 2 different coatings for the arms before moving forward with them. Paint is already drying over here, and I can still see the shades of the primer that I use, so I think I'm going to have to use a second coating on this guy, at least on this arm. The weapon, I'm going to leave it as that. I'm going to paint it red on the top side. The eagle or the wings and the skull over here, that maybe it's not visible right now on the video. I'm going to paint them on golden colors. The magazine, I think I'm going to paint it on copperish or copper color. And I think another metal color, chainmail over here for the underneath the weapon. I'm not sure what this is called. And the muzzle, I'm going to use that chainmail color. Now that it's dried over here, I'm going to have a second go with the green that I'm using. Always it is important to dry up any excess paint that you may have to avoid any splashes or agglomeration of your painting on or of your paint and over what you're painting. Seems to be good so far. In this part, I can make any mistakes and I can correct them later, though it's ideal not to do them, but they happen. It is important to understand that even if they do, you can correct them and you can continue painting with your intentions. Part of what I understand from this hobby now that I'm doing it is that perseverance is key. Don't stop if you mess up. You can change it later, or just leave it as it is. There are ways to remove the paint from miniatures. I just don't want to do it because I don't want to do exactly these miniatures again. But there's one that I in my opinion, I fucked up the helmet and lenses. I'm going to leave it as it is. I'm not going to go back to that guy. But yeah, there are ways if I wanted to remove the paint from the helmet or the whole miniature itself, so I can paint it again. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it as it is. As I said, these Space Marines are not going to be part of my army. I'm not going to play with them if I am ever going to play the game, which at this point I'm not entirely sure. I've been reading about the Kill Team game that it's from Games Workshop. Again, other miniatures. This is more specific as far as I understand. Specific in the meaning that it is more, it is not heavily open and it has a different module, so to speak, a way of operation. I'll try to see more into it. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that, but I may. I'm more inclined to play Kill Team instead of playing normal Warhammer. I'll see that in the future. Anyways, I have the other Space Marines that I might be painting later this next week, and once I do that, I might decide. I have to decide first what I want to paint them as. But yeah, I'm leaning heavily to salamanders, but as you may see right now, I'm sick and tired of painting green, at least for now. So yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe I'm going to paint them as dark krakens, which are part of the salamanders, as I've said before, but their color scheme is purple, black, and white. And also, you can add some copper or gold in there, or even red. I'm tempted, very tempted to paint them paint my next Space Marines in that scheme, color scheme. So yeah, applying another first layer of the green color on the shoulder pads for this other arm of the Space Marine. This shoulder pad does not have any borders, so I'm going to town with it. I'm just painting green in every pore that I can see. Again, I think that I'm going to have to use at least 2 coats for this guy, for this arm, just as the other one. And after that, I'll try some dry brush just to with another green that it's AK Interactive's frog green. I think I'll show it in a moment. But yeah, I usually use that to create some contrast. I know it's cheap. It is not a a technique, a high elevated technique, but it gets your results. And there's one guy that I've seen his videos. I think he paints mostly or all of his miniatures with dry brush. I do have some dry brushes special for dry brush, but I'm not going to use them yet. I want to get the pencil soap. I'm sorry, the brush soap, so I can clean them correctly, because the last time that I used one, it does still have a lot of that green, and I'm not sure if I'm going to break the or screw that brush, so I'm going to wait. I'll use one of these cheap synthetic brushes, and for now, in order to do the dry brush. All right, always clean the pencil, the brush, and let's wait a little bit more for this. In the meantime, I can work on some other details for this guy. One of those will be, I'm going to use my brush number 0, and I'm going to paint some of the tubes and what I think are metal parts on the helmet. I usually use the polished gold for this, at least with these guys. So yeah, I'm going to use this one again. Again, these are Vallejo colors. I'm not sure if gold is a part of the color scheme of the Dark Angels, but in my mind it is. So yeah, I'm going to use it that way. Now, usually I don't like too much to use water with these metallic colors, so I'm going to try to thin it out with the Vallejo thinner medium. I'm going just to place the medium away. I'm going to take a little bit of the gold that I'm going to use. Where's the 0? This is the 0. All right, I'm going to take a little bit. I'm going to place it outside. I'm going to take a little bit of the thinner. Supposedly, most of these paintings do have already in their formula a thinning chemical. That's why you shake them. But yeah, I'm still going to use my thinner. Just a few gentle touches over here on the details that I want to create. It should be enough. I don't think there's anything on the backpack. However, I think the part of the ornament should be in gold, at least on the main chain link. And it's tied to the belt. Now for the rest of the parts, I think that's okay. And I think I need more of on this. Just leave it as it is. The chest Aquila already has enough gold. I did that yesterday. Just gonna leave it there. I'm cleaning my brush. I think I will need a little bit of red for the purity seal and chainmail for the effects on the backpack. Now for chainmail, again I'm using Vallejo colors chainmail, and this one I mostly use for the what I think it is the respirator tubes on the helmet. I'm not sure if those are respirator tubes or whatever, but in my mind they are metallic, so that's why I use chainmail color. Again, I'm just going to grab a little bit of thinner with this, though the paint seems to be a lot thin already. The consistency seems to be way milky, so no, I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to try to paint the details. Right. First time that I'm doing this, I feel confident. I use the desk to help me on this. I place my forearms on the desk, then the hand that I use for painting, which is my right hand, I do a base with my other hand, so in order to have more clearer pulse, and I grab the brush as close to the tip as I can. You can see that I've already almost 20 minutes have been gone by, and that's my mark. So I'm going to close this video in just a couple of minutes. Let me just do a couple more passes, and yeah, for now I think that will be all. I'm just going to add some of the details over here on the ornament. I'm going to continue painting by myself later, and maybe tomorrow I'll add another video. But in the meantime, well then, I hope you have enjoyed it. If you are watching this, welcome to my log. Hopefully you start painting by yourself if you want. It doesn't have to be Warhammer, but it is a good hobby, and I do recommend it wholeheartedly as a psychologist and also as a now hobby painter of Warhammer. Well, yeah, so a few details added on there. I'll continue working on this guy, and I might show the end result by the video tomorrow. Oops, over there, the camera was just flickering a lot. Hope to see you later. Have a nice life. Hope you have a great day.